My name is Sai. I was in a Central City Concern housing / treatment program for 14 months. After that, I worked for them. I wish I could tell you, well, I guess I simply wish that every word you are hearing out of my mouth was a lie, but it's not. I had a horrible experience with Central City. I went into the doors of that place, barely having picked myself up off the ground, thinking that when I left I would be a person that I never thought I could be, a person that was well-rounded and sober and had good qualities and all the things that I was told and promised I would be shown how to be. But instead, I was leaving 14 months later, confused, hurt, broken. And there was pieces that broke off of me while I was there that I still haven't found again. And it left me with the question of why? Why is an organization that says they help with housing and jobs and just help you, why didn't they? And why did they try to turn it on me? Why could they not accept responsibility? The very thing that they're trying to teach us, as in recovering addicts. I went to work for them regardless because I wanted to be wrong. I wanted to be proven wrong. I wanted to believe in Central City, but unfortunately I was just proven right more and more. And I saw things that were not okay. I personally had let it go. I decided that in order to heal and to move on, that I had to walk away from it and learn to be okay. And accept that it wasn't all my fault, if any of it. But then I ran into somebody on the street, and they were newly homeless, had never been homeless in their life. And we started talking, and I found out that they had just left Central City. And they looked at me, literally with tears in their eyes, and they said, "What was wrong with me?" And that, right there, is when I knew I couldn't just walk away. I was pissed. And all the feelings that I had of confusion and anger and disbelief came flooding back when I was watching this person. That person deserved to be healed. Also, they deserved to be put back together with support. Not to be on the street for the first time of their lives asking a stranger, "What's wrong with me?" There's nothing wrong with that person, or me, or all the other people I've talked to. I've protested briefly. It did me no good. Figured. But it's because they have deep roots in the city, and they know it. But here's the thing about that. Let me tell you about a little bug, a wood bug. Very, very small. And they go and burrow into really, really big trees. And they burrow all these little holes through them over time. You can hear them too. It sounds like knocking. Little tiny tick knocks. And each little one is insignificant on its own. But in the end, no matter what, no matter how big the tree is, no matter how deep its roots, the tree will fall. And it's falling because its core is rotten. Central City Concern has a rotten core. Nobody will talk about it, but they know. They have forgotten their vision. They have forgotten why they are there in the first place. When I was working for them in orientation, they told me, "Our reputation is everything. It is our number one." When they were firing me from my job, which I expected, they told me, "Our reputation is everything. It's our number one." It wasn't to help the homeless. It wasn't to help people achieve sobriety. It wasn't to give back to the city and help people give back to the city and their communities. It was their reputation. I understand the need for reputation. If you're a nonprofit, you bank on it. It's how you make money. But if it's your number one thing above all else, above the mission that you say you serve, then you should be wondering where you went wrong. But they don't. They don't wonder at all. They just keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger, taking people's money, and people think it's going to the right place, but I asked myself what was wrong with me too. I asked myself why they tried to make me homeless during COVID, when the rest of the entire nation was under an eviction moratorium for the first time, where everyone had lost their jobs. Why was I being evicted and being told it's because I didn't have a job? Why was my contract being thrown in my face? Of all the little things they didn't think I had accomplished correctly when COVID was new. Nobody knew how to navigate COVID. But they didn't care. What they gave me was an eviction. And I was literally 4 days away from being homeless for the first time of my life in the winter during COVID. And I cried in front of my case manager, I won't lie. I cried. They did nothing to help me, and the only reason that I was not homeless was because somebody stood up and said something and helped me. This is not okay. If I didn't get your attention before, I have it now. And I am telling you that I want to know why. I want to know why for me. I want to know why for many, many people. Because I have not been dormant. I didn't just go away. I've been busy. Very, very busy. And I want to know why. Why you didn't care. Why you don't care. About me and all the other people like me that have the same story and the question of why. And I also want to know if you're listening yet.